Hi, this is Nathan Losey with Mobile User Experience for October of 2014 with our Week 4 final project of our improved storyboard, our improved application. So, this is my storyboard from last week, you'll recognize, zoomed out a little bit, and my feedback that I was supposed to improve on specifically stated that we were going to try to make it look a little bit prettier, and I have tried to clean up a little bit. But the big one was that we needed to look at some other possibilities. So I'm going to close out of this one to show you. I've made two additional wireframes. First of all, here I've got our landscape version of the phone view. That is absolutely something we'll be including with this application. You can see it's laid out pretty much the same. I've made some compensations for the change in viewpoint. Our app definition statement said that we needed to create an application for, well, my app definition was going to be for an everyday user, anybody who's got bank accounts for both personal or business affairs. So you're going to have a, let's talk about, a home user who is, trying to just manage a couple of checking accounts and a savings account. So we've got our login page here where you type in your username and your password and hit your login button. If it fails, it's going to go over to this bottom failure screen here with a link to the website, which will allow you to reset the password if necessary. Otherwise, it'll give you the chance to try again. That brings us to our primary account overview. One of the first other improvements here is that we have fit in the account overview to our navigation bar at the bottom. In the landscape view, it fits there nicely, so we're definitely including it here, as well as in the tablet application, which I'll show you in a moment here. We're only keeping that home in the upper left corner on the phone view due to the fact that it would crowd out and make it... I did find that you can reduce the size of the buttons to allow it to fit there, but again, focusing on the user experience, that's definitely going to be something that would get fat-fingered, as it were, and we don't want that. But in this view, it's nice and easy to slide this in here, and it gives you another consistent link that you're going to be able to use to access this account view page. And again, so this is going to show you a list of the accounts, and it's not easy to demonstrate on our wireframe, but these are each going to be clickable links to go to details. You can see it lists any checking accounts and savings accounts, and it would also be scrollable if it extends past the bottom of the page. So clicking on any of these links here is going to give you an account summary. Which is going to show a transaction history, and again, this is going to be scalable, and it gives you another link to statements and documents, which is an important thing to have. So that links over to here, where we've got links to all of our different statements and terms and conditions, documents that are important for a banking user. Another one of our icons at the bottom here brings us to the transfer funds. Oops, let's get back over there. You'll notice here that this is one of the pages that had to change a little bit more for the landscape view, so we put it side by side here so that you can still keep everything on one screen. Scrolling, especially with something sensitive like bank and on a touch screen, is not something that we should be doing too much, especially on something as important as transferring funds. So I wanted to make sure we could keep this all on a single screen so that you don't have to worry about scrolling and maybe sending your money to the wrong person because of a bad touch, or sending it to the wrong account, sending too much, too little. It's a delicate subject, so we wanted to make sure that that's not going to be a problem. We keep everything on one screen by switching to this side-by-side view in landscape. Again, you can use the switch to transfer what you're transferring. You've got drop-downs for your account and your recipient. Again, if you switch this to your own accounts, this would include your own account list as well, an amount, and then a button to initiate the transfer. Our third option here is the check deposit, which is going to, again, this is going to link into the camera, and it's going to let you take a picture of your check so that you can, it'll process and it'll deposit that check, and it'll display the amount of money that you've deposited as well as the check number for confirmation. And we have our branch locator, which is going to, again, switch to a side-by-side view for consistency. Since we made the decision in the experience to keep everything side-by-side, starting with the previous one on the transfers, again, for consistency and a good experience, we want to keep that same layout. So I've got this switched over so that the map shows up on the left, you enter your zip code here underneath, and you get your set of results here. And that's pretty much all of the screens that are going to be necessary to cover our basic functions as defined in our app definition statement. This is going to cover pretty much anything you would need to do on the go as either a business or a home user. So it's going to be really useful for all of those. Now I did mention, so in addition to switching us over to the landscape view, I've also created one more wireframe. Basically shows the same thing. You'll notice it's still color coded for consistency, but here we've got the tablet version. It's also been translated over to kind of fit the screen a little bit better. Everything's a little bit bigger, makes it a little bit easier to see. But so we are going to include both tablet and landscape support as questioned in last week's. And that is pretty much the improvements that I've made on the application. Again, a little bit easier to navigate, including a couple more settings that the users may want to use, a couple more environments. It was good to update this, and kind of these were not things I would have thought of, especially in the design stage, so it's good to kind of have a jumping off point going forward. I've enjoyed this month worth of class, and we'll look forward to next